Good evening and welcome to The 7. I'm Rebecca Curran. Restrictions may be easing, but we are going to struggle. That's the message from some of Scotland's leading voices in the tourism and events sector. Yesterday, the First Minister announced that from Monday, people can go to the cinema, drink alcohol inside bars and restaurants, and take part in indoor group exercises. But the Scottish Tourism Alliance has warned that talk of a boom is overstated, with its members reporting low bookings over the summer. Our reporter, Carol Erskine, has been speaking to some businesses predicting a difficult future. Well, for most, the easing of restrictions on Monday is the biggest leap towards freedom since last year. So where are we when we look at the data? Well, as you can see here, cases have plummeted since January to around a weekly average of 250 a day. Yet there is a small uptick in the last 7 days. And the head of public health in Glasgow has told BBC Scotland she's concerned about clusters in parts of the city which could be linked to the Indian variant. But deaths are still hovering around zero. In the past few days, no one has died within 28 days of a positive COVID test. And hospital admissions remain low. There are currently 65 people being treated, compared with a high of 2,000 just after the new year. Meanwhile, almost 3 million people, 64% of adults in Scotland, have had their first dose of the vaccine, and 33% have received their second. Well, the National Clinical Director, Professor Jason Leach, joins us now. Professor Leach, thanks very much for your time today. I just want to start by asking you about the situation in Glasgow, because we are hearing of a concerning rise in figures, and potentially that the Indian variant could be circulating too. How worried are you?
Yeah.
Now, the UN is fearing a full-scale war between the Israeli military and Palestinian militants in the Gaza Strip, sparked by clashes at a holy site in Jerusalem. Israel has carried out a heavy bombardment of Gaza, while Palestinians have fired a mass barrage of rockets on Tel Aviv and other towns in central Israel. More than 50 people have now died. The Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, said the government would use all its strength to protect Israel from enemies on the outside and rioters on the inside. Hamas, the militant group that runs Gaza, said it was incensed by the enemy's targeting of residential towers in the area. The BBC's Middle East correspondent, Tom Bateman, reports. Sounds good. And now Laura's here with all today's sport. Lots of football, Laura.
Full card tonight. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Good evening. It's a busy night of action in the Scottish Premiership. Hamilton-Kilmarnock Championship next week. And coming up right after the 7, you can watch live coverage of the Premiership playoff semi-final first leg between Wraith Rovers and Dundee. So there is plenty happening today, Rebecca.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for that.
Absolutely.
It's so interesting around the Olympics, isn't it? You know, they do really seem to just be standing firm. It's happening.
It totally reminds us all of what happened last year when they kept saying it's not going to be cancelled, it's not going to be postponed. And then it was so last minute.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that we can see some sport in the form of the Olympics happening in a couple of months' time. But just don't know what's going on.
Just don't know. And am I right in thinking if it did get cancelled, I mean, that would be it?
I think they have rumoured to say that if it gets cancelled a second time or postponed a second time, then that one might be it for this.
Well, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Thanks very much, Laura.
Thank you.
Now, it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and one woman who's helping to get people talking is Heather Waugh. She's Scotland's only female freight driver, and one day witnessed a boy taking his own life. The combination of that and working in a male-dominated environment made her realise she wanted to help men open up and talk about their feelings. Well, I'm delighted to say... And that's all we have time for this evening. I'll be back tomorrow with Connor at the usual time of 9 o'clock. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.